Hey, so that was last year. We set up a rear projection screen on this picture window behind me here. Basically, we just set up a homemade rear projection screen, put a projector in the dining room, shot it onto the screen, and then on the window on the outside, when trick-or-treaters rolled up, they could see the animations and the graphics and the loops and that kind of thing. We put some speakers and had some audio going. It was really cool. The kids loved it. The adults loved it. It was a really kind of a fun thing to do for Halloween. So I'm basically just going to show you how to set up a rear projection screen. It's really easy. You can find all the parts and pieces at your local store. So let's go. So first things first, you basically want to find a good window that you can throw your projection onto so that people who are coming up for Halloween can see it really well, or they can see it really good from the street. If you have a picture window, that's great, a nice big square window. If you don't, two normal size windows will work just fine. You might just have to make two different projection screens, but you could probably still use one projector. It kind of depends on how big your room is and that kind of thing. The next thing that you want to do is measure out your window. So take a tape measure and measure the length and width of the window, and that is going to be the length and width of your rear projection screen. Supplies. You're going to need some wood. That'll be the frame of your rear projection screen. Right now I've got some wood. It's maybe about 3/4 of an inch, ½ inch by maybe 2 inches. And that's going to make up the frame of our rear projection screen. The next thing that you're going to need is some sort of liner or screen. What I used last year was just a curtain liner, basically a normal white shower curtain liner. Worked actually really well. I was kind of surprised how well it worked. So I'm going to use that again this year. You can go online and find some rear projection cloth, that kind of thing. You just want to make sure that whatever cloth that you use is the right size for your window. The next thing you're going to want is some tape. We use that to kind of hang our screen since we're not mounting it permanently. We'll just use the tape to mount the screen to the window. Next, you'll want a saw so you can cut your wood, a staple gun, that'll be used for putting the screen onto your frame, safety glasses, and metal brackets to hold the pieces of wood together. So after you've measured out your window, you want to cut your pieces of wood down to size. Make sure to account for the width of the pieces of wood in your calculations. So go ahead and measure your wood, mark it, and cut it. Next, we'll use our metal brackets to connect the pieces of wood together to make one big square. Once you have your frame put together, put it on the floor. Next, take out your shower curtain and lay it on top of the frame. Then, along the edge of the frame, staple the screen to the frame. Try to keep the shower curtain or your screen as wrinkle-free as possible. Once you have your frame put together and your screen mounted to the frame, then you can put your screen up on the window. So pick it up, put it gently into place. You may want to put the screen side in first, so that it goes right up against the window. Next, you'll just want to tape your screen up. If you've got some gaffer's tape or some other type of tape that doesn't leave a lot of sticky residue, that's always a little better. And once you've done that, you basically just set your projector in a position behind the screen and shoot your projection onto the screen. There should be some settings on the projector that allows you to flip the image so that people in the front of the house see the correct image and you'll see a reverse image standing inside. Once you've got the projector hooked up, you can hook it up to a video source, so it could be a DVD or some animations playing off a computer or an iPad. You basically can just have that going. I like to hook it up with some audio and some music, just maybe some ambient type music and sounds that are kind of spooky and Halloweeny and that kind of thing. Basically hook those speakers up, put them outside, and then let the kids come by and they'll love it. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask them in the comments section. Just so you know, I've got a site that we actually have some of these animations, some of the loops and graphics and that kind of thing you could use for your projections. So feel free to drop by the site. I'll put it in the description on the video. You can look at our other YouTube videos to see some other animations that we have and that kind of thing. If you have any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, happy Halloween.